Be proud of it. I'm a geek. I'm a science and math geek. And I mean, once I was diagnosed with autism and I started looking back through my life, I could see all the signs. All the signs were there. And I totally understood, why I thought the way I did, why I did things the way I did. But I wouldn't change my brain. Like I was I thought, but I also thought everybody at 11 years old. I built a working seismograph and buried it in my backyard. I made a sundial in permanent marker on my windowsill. I got grounded for that one. But,
Oh, but
I
how
did these
cool that you did
things.
that, though.
Yeah. And I mean, like, because I didn't talk to other people, I thought everybody did that. Apparently, not everybody does that. There were things that were stressful too, though. Things like I had to count my steps all the time. I had to have things in even number pairs. And if they were odd numbers, I don't have an affinity for odd numbers. I still to this day will go out for walks and I'll add up all the numbers on license plates until I get a single digit. But it's those things that I guess there's always cons to everything. And they're stressful, but I wouldn't change anything because it is who I am and it's made me who I am. And I see the world in a certain way and can't imagine seeing it any other way.
That's very cool. I have to comment on this because I'm sitting here going, okay, she does not have an affinity for odd numbers, but you're projecting 9 books. How does that fly?
Because 9 can be divisible by 3.
So there's an exception to this odd rule.
There is. Just like 5s and 10s, right?
Okay,
If you can divide it, I don't like 5, but 10s I do. So you can divide the 10 in half. It's just, it has to be broken into even pairs.
Yeah. Well, and if,
it's
we all have
and
things
that's
that
just
work
how my
for
brain
us.
works.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. But I was curious after that statement. I'm like, okay, but how do we get to 9? How does that happen?
So it's either got to be 6 or it's got to be 9. And I know the sixth book does not reach the end. So it's got to be, 8. 8 doesn't feel right. 9 does.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if by chance you find out that 9 isn't enough, 10 is still okay.
Absolutely.
No? Okay.
I don't know.
For a half a second, I thought, well, maybe I said something wrong there. Maybe that's not okay.
No. That's okay. That's absolutely, yeah, that's all right. I mean, I'm keep coming up with ideas, but I'm gonna have to stop that at some point because I could write forever in this, and I just think people, I don't want to get burned out on this series, or have to put it away and then have my fans sitting there. Why are you not writing more books? Because there's people that are asking me, when is my 5th book coming out? So, I promised that I would end this series. I would write it all the way to the end, and I will. But I also want to do other projects too.
Well, absolutely right. Yeah. So I had spoken to someone very early in the early days of when my podcast was launched. And she has a book series. I think it's like the Bluebell Chronicles or something like that. It's set in Scotland. But she had made a comment about how she had intended her series to end. And she wrote it in such a way that, the character was supposed to die and did die as far as she was concerned. But her audience saw something that she didn't catch. And there was room for another book because there was a way that he could still live through that situation. So she did end up writing one more book. So I just had to go there with you on, well, what about?
Yeah, well, I mean, even when it's done, it's not done, right?
Right.
Exactly. If there's something, I might want to revisit it. I'm not opposed to the idea of writing a parallel series of something else where we meet characters from my current series.